Hey guys, welcome back to World Mechanics. In today's video guys, what we'll be doing here, we'll show you how to paint brake calipers and brake rollers. So, check this thing out. Okay, what we have here looks amazing, right? We just finished the job, so stay with us, we'll show you how to do that. But let us show you what it looked like before we start on it. Okay, this is what they look like before. Okay, you can see pretty bad looking in my opinion. So, painting them different color I think definitely makes them pop out more. So we painted ours red, but you can do yours different color if you need to, so let's go ahead and start on it now. The paint and the tools that we'll be using guys will be listed in the description of the video below. So you have like tire chokes installed so the car doesn't roll on you, put it in park, and we'll need to release the parking brake now. Stay out of the way when you do that to make sure it doesn't fall, okay? We'll need to release it so later we can compress the caliper here. We'll show you how to do that, and that way we'll be able to install it again on the hub. So here we have 13mm. Okay, we need to remove that bolt now on top. Some cars will differ guys, we're demonstrating here on a Dodge Journey. Some cars will differ, but what we have to do, we have to remove the caliper and the roller, and in order to remove the roller you need to remove the caliper. We have the same one on the bottom there, again. Just 13mm, remove that bolt as well. Okay, now with a screwdriver just try to pry the caliper out of the bracket here. Okay, like that, careful not to damage your seal or anything like that, you have to be extremely careful. Now we're going to slide the pads out. Okay, those are the pads. Same thing on the inner side. Perfect, just like that one. Now we have here, okay, you can see that we have the emergency brake cable holding the caliper, but if the caliper is hanging too much you can damage your brake line. So if you suspect that it's hanging too much, tie it for the strut like that and it's not in the way. Now we have 18mm socket. We need to remove the bracket here for the caliper, so we need to get this one loose. Okay, now the one on top here. Perfect. Those got loose now. So we'll just get the ratchet now, remove these two. They'll start going by hand. Usually those they're not very fine thread. Perfect. Now one more on top here, and that bracket will come off. Okay, just like that. So we'll be using Interphone here. This is a great penetrating spray. You can find all the parts and tools again that we use in the description of the video below. Now in order to remove the roller here, we have to spray a little bit here. You can see where it corroded, so okay, we're going to just spray a little bit like that. Let it soak for a little bit. Okay, and we're going to tap on it. So we'll get actually the rubber hammer, guys, never hammer on the roller itself. Okay, check it out now. It comes out. Okay, and this is your roller out of here. You can see just like that. So we're going to get a little bit of lubricating, that penetrating spray now. We're going to clean here so everything is going to be clean, so the roller can go on it. I'll even recommend to use some sandpaper here, but you can see that thing penetrates the rust and it eats it off really good. It's amazing product. So what we'll do, we'll get a little bit of sandpaper now, okay, and we're going to go on the hub here just to clean everything super good again, and we're going to lubricate it. That spray is supposed to prevent rust build up again in the future. So we'll go all the way around it like that, and you can see it's going to turn real nice and clean. So the new roller, or when you install your old roller, it's going to stick really good. So already did all the sanding, we're going to clean it now. Check out all the stuff coming off of it, that thing is unbelievable. And we'll be ready to go. So now we'll need to compress the piston in the caliper. And on those, it's a special way that you do that, and a special tool, guys. Again, everything will be listed in the description of the video below. You cannot just press it in because you have the emergency brake cable here. So this is like a screw type of piston inside. So we'll need to turn it and push at the same time with that tool. But what we'll be doing now, we'll just lubricate, okay, the seal here a little bit. Because otherwise what could happen is actually the seal will get stuck, and as a result it can break, dust will get in, and okay, your caliper will be done. So let's see if I can apply just a little bit on this side here. Okay, perfect. So this is the tool that we'll be using. You can see now we need to find the one that will work for us. Okay, and we need to use the right hand side because we're on the right hand side of the vehicle. And we need to find one of those ends is actually going to go in the piston right here. So let's see which one is going to fit now. Okay, perfect, this one right there. So we'll just stick it on top of this one. Okay, and you need to start turning clockwise. Okay, check out how it's going in. Careful not to slip on you. So we'll keep doing that until it's done all the way to the end. So we'll remove our glides so we don't damage our rubber seals. We just pull them out. Later we're going to re-grease them when we're done as well. Okay, so we cover the holes there with paper towel. Next we're going to go ahead and remove the shims, the metal glides. So we'll just pull them out. Later we can install those or new ones. It's up to you whether you're putting new parts. I'll recommend to replace those. We'll remove our cap here. So next we'll use some brake cleaner here. Okay, just brake parts cleaner. We'll need to make sure that we don't have anything, any rust, dust, otherwise the paint will not stick. We'll get a small brush as well. Okay, and we're going to spray now here. Brush a little bit, use eye protection as well. Eyeglasses, and I'll recommend to use gloves, always. Face mask when you use the brake cleaner. Okay, even though it's a little bit discolored, I think it looks pretty good. Be careful when you do that because it is very flammable, not to catch anything on fire. You have a fire extinguisher as well on the side. We'll do the bracket now here as well. So this is ready. Now we're going to do our roller here. Especially where we sprayed it, remember to soak it, penetrating oil. So we're going to use a little bit of sandpaper now here. So we'll be using caliper paint, guys. You can find it in the description of the video below. Some people use primer and all that stuff. We already taped our seal here and our bleeder right there, so we don't spray any paint there. So what we will do, okay, first layer will be super thin, like very light layer, because it will start to run. Okay, and the second and third layer will be a little bit thicker. Okay, so we're going to do the roller now. If we spray on the surface here, we can take it later to the shop to have it resurfaced, but you can clean it with acetone usually. So we'll just do a thin layer here now. Okay, we'll let it dry. Now we're going to do that bracket here. Okay, and we'll do 1 or 2 more layers after that. So you can see how the second layer gets a little bit thicker, looks way better as well. So now what we'll do, we're going to clean the roller where we sprayed some on it. So we'll get a little bit of brake cleaner, will clean the paint while it's still soft. Okay, you can see like that. So we're going to do the whole roller like that to make sure that we don't have paint where the brake pads will be contacting. Be careful not to get it on the other part of the paint where we need it to be red, so we don't wipe it off, and we'll be ready to go after that. So we went to the parts store, guys, and we picked up the pads. What happened, they actually delivered the wrong pads today, so what we'll have to do will be reusing our pads until we get the new ones, and then we'll have the roller cut as well. So those are the old pads. You can see they still have quite a bit of white left, but we're going to order new ones. So what we'll do, we'll just sand with a bulk the top layer so they're not shiny and burned, and that way they'll be good until we get the new ones. It happens sometimes they deliver the wrong stuff because they have a few different kinds of rear rollers. Okay, so we'll use some brake cleaner to clean them. Now we're going to clean as well where the brake pad contacts. Okay, the bracket right here, the ends, because we'll need to apply a little bit of brake grease. All the little glides here, we remove them so we can clean them as well. We're going to wipe them. Okay, perfect. And wipe the little guys as well so they don't have any dust and rust. Okay, perfect. So we're going to pull our papers now that we installed. We're going to clean the glides here. You can see we painted everything now. On the back side it doesn't need to be painted, so pretend you didn't see that it's not painted there. Nobody will notice it. Apply a little bit of fresh grease there. Okay, perfect. We need to make sure that those glides, okay, you can see we have a little bit of dust here, so we need to wipe it off. And we need to push them in and install the rubber seal on top there now. Okay, perfect. We will install all of the shims now. Okay, you need to make sure that you get the correct ones in the correct way. Perfect. We'll get just a little bit of brake grease now, very little amount. And just put it here, okay, very thin amount, and we're going to spread it with the finger later. Pretty much you need to wipe your glove off, just a little bit. Because otherwise it's going to collect too much dust. On the back side of your pads, very thin amount of brake grease as well. And just spread it with your finger, very thin amount. This is where the caliper will be contacting the pad. Okay, this one there too. Next, we're ready to install the roller. Now we're ready to install the bracket here for the caliper. Just get it there, install the two bolts. And we'll need to get those tight. So every car will have different torque specs for the bolts. You need to find a specific one for yours. It's very important to torque them down to the correct force, otherwise you might damage your brakes, which is very dangerous thing. So we're ready to go now. This is a click type wrench, so what will happen when we reach that torque, you hear a click. It's very important not to go past that click, because if you do, you will put too much torque. Okay, we're getting there now. We just need to see the bolt all the way. So make sure that you have the bottom bolt started before we torque them down. Okay, what I'll be doing here, we'll get both of them all the way in. Always double check everything for your specific vehicle, year, model, and all that stuff. Okay, listen now, the torque wrench will click when we reach the torque. This is it, guys. Okay, this is it. This is the optimum. Now I'm going to do the top now. Okay, listen now for the top when we reach the torque. Perfect. I'll go and retorque the bottom one. Okay, I'll try both of them twice to make sure that everything's good. Perfect. Now the top one. Great. Okay. So we can go ahead and install the parts. Imagine we have new parts now, guys. You have to stand till the end to see exactly what else you need to do. This one will be inner part now. That's the one that we had with the metal piece. Just make sure you get them in the glides. If you put new glides or remove yours, you need to install them the correct way, because they go only one certain way, otherwise your part will not be seated good. Okay, perfect. Now we can slide the caliper on top. And we need to install the two bolts here. So we will install the bolts now. And we'll set the torque wrench. We'll need to get a wrench that will fit here so we can hold it and use the torque wrench at the same time. Again, this is a click type wrench, guys, so once you hear that click you should stop immediately if you apply more torque. Okay, listen now. Okay, that's it. Now we'll go to the bottom one and hold this one here now. Okay, perfect. And we'll do the same thing. Okay, we'll be there any minute now. Listen now, that's it. Okay, let's check the top one more time and the bottom one, just to make sure that everything's good. And make sure you do not over torque them. Okay, great. and the bottom one again. We always double check everything. Okay, perfect. Now it is very important to go inside the vehicle and hit the brakes before you let the tire, the car off the jack, because you can see, okay, that pad is moving. Do not touch it like I do, because if you stick your finger it can cut your finger off. But pump the brake pedal at least 20-30 times until you don't have any play. Okay, check it out now. I'll try to move it while one person is holding the brake. Nope, no play. We'll do the okay, the emergency brake now. We'll apply it. Okay, now let go a few times. Okay, to make sure now that there is absolutely no play in the caliper, because what will happen if you don't get that play? When you start driving the car, the first time you push the brakes a few times, you will not have no brakes. You have no brakes because there will be gap between the pads and the caliper, and that gap will result into a soft pedal and you will not have brakes. So always do that when you remove brakes. So this is it, guys. That's what it looks like. The painted roller here, the painted caliper. You can see it looks very good from here. As you know, we have some imperfections. We didn't paint absolutely everything perfect, but you cannot notice anything. So everything looks great, guys. Thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button and see you guys next time.